Good evening and welcome. I'm Sheila Balgobin and I am the Dream Detective, and I help you to sleep better and to find the gold in the gobbledygook of your dreams so you can live the life you dream of. Today, I wanted to share some thoughts with you about the LinkedIn challenge that I took part in this past week, and what it not only what I learned from it about LinkedIn, but what I learned about myself and the thoughts that came with regard to what it takes to challenge yourself. Do you have what it takes to challenge yourself? And that's what I want to talk about a little bit today. First of all, I have to give a shout out to the facilitator for the challenge that I participated in, Julie Sil Galungi. She is a proven businesswoman, author, you name it, and a wonderful teacher. And I have to say thank you because before the 5-day challenge had even finished, by day 3, I was already seeing an upturn in the traffic on my LinkedIn profile. Now, that's what I call serious results. It was like a 200% increase, which sounds crazy. I mean, it wasn't 200 people, but it was 200% spike in the people looking at my profile. And that to me is somebody who knows what they're talking about and does what they say on the tin. But during this whole week, and the different challenges that were set to us and the different activities that were set to us, it required some qualities that were exhibited by each person, each in their own way. But I'd like to talk about some of those qualities because they were important. The first is to admit that you don't know everything and that sometimes you just need to go to the experts. And how do you find them? Well, you talk to other people who are successful and find out who they model and admire and who they learn from. I happened to meet Julie through another group that we belong to, a ninja networking group, and developed a relationship over the last few years as a result of that. So when she asked me to take part in this challenge, and I knew I needed to reconfigure my LinkedIn account, I jumped on the opportunity. But so I had to admit that I needed help. And that's the first thing, that to not to be so proud and so, you know, individualistic, if you will, that you feel you have to go it alone and do everything yourself. Why reinvent the wheel if somebody's already been there, done that, got the t-shirt and got the kudos to prove it? Why reinvent things? Learn from somebody who's already made the mistake so you don't have to. The second thing is that I had to reconfigure my profile and this description about myself. And I needed to do that in any case because things have changed over the last few years and I needed to revise it. But now, in a very succinct, very directed way, it says who I am, what I'm about, and what I can do for people. But to be able to do that, you have to know yourself, which brings me to my second point. If you are not truly tuned in to who you are, what you're about, and what you're trying to present to the world, you will never be successful because if you don't know who you are, how is anybody else going to know? Simple as that. The other thing was that it felt a real sense of camaraderie and interest and support from the other people who were participating in the challenge. Now, some of them had worked with Julie before. I hadn't, so it was a new experience for me to work with her in this way. But what I found was that each of us, we're all experts in whatever field we choose to be to be part of, but that we were all looking to improve ourselves, all looking to and to lend support to one another, and that was the difference. it was that sense of camaraderie, if you will, that people were willing to participate, not only to get what they could for themselves, but to be able to help other people along the way. So that's the other thing, is that to be willing to be part of a group and to really participate and get not only what was being taught, but to learn from others' experiences and to pick up new information. I certainly picked up a lot of information, and not just from the person who was teaching the course or running the challenge. So those were, I found, were the most important things that had to be looked at, that had to be a part of this process for it to actually work. And the proof of it is not only the fact that, like I said, the looks on my profile went up by 200% by the third day of the challenge, but at the end of the challenge, I just found out a little while ago that as a result of my diligence, I actually won a prize. Not only it's an individual coaching, but part of a group for the next 3 months, where I will be again with a group of people who are looking to start businesses or are already in business and need expert help to make their businesses the best that they can be. And so I've taken away so much more than I had expected, and have been given so much more than I had even hoped for. Didn't expect to win a prize. I wanted to do my best. Of course, the prizes were nice, and this one's a great prize because it's 10 grand that I don't have to spend to get expertise. So sometimes you have to sacrifice. Are you willing to sacrifice in this case, my time, but in other cases, it may be my money, my energy that needs to be sacrificed, if you will, in order to lose something, perhaps somewhat in the short term, in order to leap ahead because of what I've gained in the long run. And that's the other thing. You have to be willing to put in the time. If you're not going to do the work, if you think you're just going to rock up to and things are going to drop in your lap perfect and the money's going to be rolling in, forget about it. It doesn't happen that way for most of us. You have to be willing to persevere and do the work. So those are my 4 thoughts about what you need to be able to meet the challenge of yourself, to meet the challenge to help yourself to grow. And that is to be open and willing to learn from others, to be honest about who you are, to know who you are so that you can communicate your message clearly. If you don't know who you are, nobody else is going to know either. To be willing to learn, as I said, but to be willing to do the work. Do the work. Are you willing to do the work? Hello, Daria. And finally, are you willing to be part of a group? Are you willing to share your wisdom with others and listen to what others have to say to you? It's not just about listening to the instructor. It was about listening to everyone, because we all are teachers and we all are students. Even the lecturer or the person who is leading this challenge, even she says she's always learning from someone, from her mentors, from her colleagues, from her students. A good teacher is always, always, always a good student. And that's always something that I've aspired to do. And it was my commitment to take 5 days out of my routine to be able to not only to improve myself, but to be able to hopefully pass that information on to other people, or to pass the facilitator on to other people, because she is the expert. And I can't thank her enough. But it all begins with ourselves. If we're not willing to put in the work, to work with others, to admit that we need help sometimes and need to learn from others, and to kind of take off that cloak of superior knowledge. We don't know everything. We can't know everything. But why reinvent the wheel when somebody has already learned it for you and can show you how to do it? Seems simple enough, doesn't it? Anyway, in any case, hello, Tosin. Thank you for joining. I hope that resonated with you. If it has, drop me a comment. You can send me it by a personal message, or you can leave a comment here on the live. Or if you feel like it, just drop a couple of emojis, love hearts, thumbs up, something, and let me know how I'm doing. I hope I've given you some food for thought, and I wish you a great evening, a fantastic week, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.